Hey, best friend, you are here with me. Let's get together. We have some things that we need to do and we need to talk about. So, you know what? Let me ask you this first, best friend. Is there a business that you want to start? Is there something that's been in your spirit that you really been wanting to do, but you don't quite know how? But you just don't know how to get started, or maybe you're just feeling mentally immobilized. You don't know how to get past the circumstances from the past or the fears, or you've been immobilized by fears. I'm going to tell you, you're in the right space today. You are in the right space today, and I'm so glad you're here with me. Because, best friend, let me tell you something. I have helped hundreds and hundreds of people overcome and rectify what has blocked them from moving forward and connected them to their life purpose. That's the thing that you do. If you knew that you wouldn't fail, that you would do it and you would do it with so much joy. Your life purpose that will be helping someone else at the same time, right? And so I have watched my clients just emerge from their limited belief into what they are, to who they are right now, to these amazing men and women who are living out their life dreams and just being unapologetically them, and they're loved doing what they're doing. So if that is you, if you are in a space where you're like, hey, I'm here right now, but you know what? I am trying to get there, but there are some things in the way. And with all of us, there's always these little things that get in our way that we need to kind of get beyond. So, right now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about a couple of laws from the a training that I have called in 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. I'm going to talk about a couple of laws that really help move the needle. They help you kind of get to that space of self leadership. And for me, self leadership is the ground, is the foundation of literally everything in your life. Do not take self leadership for granted. Don't think about leadership as a suit and tie or some authoritative figure. Think of it as a means for you to get you what you desire in life, whether it's financial, whether it's a mental state, whether it's a business, whether it's a physical state, whatever it is. The beginning stages of it is self leadership. And I'm here to take you on this journey of getting started. So, what I'm going to do, I am going to do a mini little workshop. I'm going to share my screen and we are going to go right into it. I hope you're having a great day. And you know what? I tell you what, if you're watching this, go ahead and start putting in the comments. I'm here. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what type of occupation. Tell me some things that you're maybe be struggling with that we can kind of get some things too. Because trust me, you're not by yourself, whatever it is, you're not by yourself. I can guarantee that. Not think you're not by yourself. That's where shame get to us, and we don't give ourselves chance to grow because we think, oh, it's just us. No, sister, no, brother. There's other folks, and more than likely I probably have to experience it for myself. So let me go ahead and just share my screen right now. And let's see where I am going here. Let's check this out here. Okay. Well, that is my website. And hey, Imogene Nelson dot Imogene Nelson, emergeandprosper.com. Go check me out. Emergeandprosper.com. Go there and so we can connect. Um, let's go ahead and get started with this. Let's just open this up in Google Slides and let's just get going with this. Okay, so here we go, and we're going to just go and view this, and we're going to just get started. Okay, so we're here, and so again, we're going to be talking about a couple of the principles in the 15 invaluable laws of growth. And both principles are, is one is the law of pain, and the one is the law of the rubber band. Okay, the law of pain, none of this don't sound sexy at all, but I'm telling you right now, this is just magical. Good management of bad experience lead to great growth. How many of us are really managing the pain in our life? Or are we turning a cheek to the pain in our life? Or are we ignoring the pain in our life? Are we acting like this pain don't exist? Because we want to say, I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. And I noticed that from people, like, especially like with me, I'm a woman of faith. But sometimes being in a church setting, we get to do the church lingo. And I'm blessed and highly favored. Well, you're hurting. You're sad. You're feeling ashamed about something. And it's okay. That's how God wants to show up in front of him anyway. Just being unapologetically us so he can heal us in that space. So there is no need to be ashamed of whatever you're going through, whatever you're doing. If you're hurting, you're hurting. Then that's where you get your help. So it's the pain. How do we manage this pain? And I can tell you, for so many years, I was horrible at this. I wasn't managing it. I was trying to have on this mask because I wanted to put my best face forward. I wanted everybody to think my life was this way and that way. And like, doing this production, ta-da. It was just like this life was, I was making into this production. But again, I know I'm not by myself. I needed to manage this. Anything that you don't manage it would get out of control. Anything. If you don't manage your weight, it's going to get out of control. If you don't manage your mental state and do some self-care, you're going to get out of control and get stressed out. Anything that you don't manage was going to get out of control. And it goes the same with our bad experiences. Almost made me cuss. Stuff gonna happen. Life cards is gonna happen to you. People are gonna piss you off. People are gonna do some cruddy stuff to you. Matter of fact, you're gonna do cruddy stuff to people. Life happen. All these ways is gonna have pain come in your life, but you gotta know how to manage it. It's key. And then it's the law of the rubber band. We're gonna be talking about growing to your full potential requires you to stretch out of your comfort zone. This one here gets me. Now that I remember, like, when in a space where it's like I wasn't willing to stretch because I was so worried about what are they going to think about me. I was so worried about what people were going to think. I made up in my mind the whole scenario about what they were going to say, so I just stayed where I was at. It was like I was entrapping myself. Because you think about it, I can only do that. And so instead of me just saying, you know what, I got to get out this comfort zone, I just got to be, I just have to do what I need to do. And that's what I started doing. I remember I just started sharing, I'm struggling. I'm in pain. I remember when I first had to share that I was going to commit suicide. I remember that. It was, and instead of being this, Satan was telling me, my mind was telling me that, oh no, they're going to think you're not a Christian. They're going to think you're not saved. They don't think you have enough faith. Which was all lies. Life happens. You feel a way. You have to learn to do it. It takes faith to deal with it and stand up to it and say, this is who I am. That's faith. Not this old fake stuff that some super saint or some other person is trying to tell you, and because they are afraid to face their own stuff. So it's kind of like the blind leading the blind. So it's just about being willing to step out of your comfort zone and be completely who you are and doing those things that you want that is scary. And you have to do some of these things, just do it afraid. That is my motto. I choose me, and you do it afraid. Do it when no one else is in agreement with you. You do it when they're saying that, oh, if you do this, this is going to happen. Do it anyway, because if God has put that in you, it can be done. It can be done. I promise you, it can be done. That's that idea. The idea of whatever it is, again, idea of starting businesses, idea of getting your health in check, the idea of going to connect with the old friend, the idea of starting a new hobby, whatever it is, this purposeful, but it causes us to get out of our comfort zone. So we're going to talk about this whole idea of the law of pain, which we said is good management of bad experiences lead to great growth. How we are managing the things in our lives. When bad things happen, what are you doing with it? Are you sitting with it, allowing yourself just to cry it out? Or are you just staying in the mode, rehashing it over and over and over in your head until it becomes this massive idea, this massive problem that you have? Because instead of dealing with it, being managing it, you are just exploding it in your head. Because what I found out with life, certain things I just made a little worse. It was in my head. And after I dealt with it and I faced it head on and I just said what I had to say, I realized it wasn't as bad as I thought. Because let me tell you, some people will help you stay in that state. Because when you begin to grow, not everyone is happy for you, because sometimes you end up making people force them to look at themselves. So you have to be careful who is in your circle and how you managing your pain. That's why self-leadership is so important. Because if you can get self-leadership down, you're not looking for validation. You're looking from the voice of God. That's what you're looking for. Not saying validation is bad, but you're not looking at someone tell you who you are, and that's, you know, that's not who you are. You can just stay to the side. You will be able to continue to walk and not believe in what they're saying. But how are you managing these bad experiences? Because life cards will always happen. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a learning process that grows with momentum. Is that it gets easier each time. So if I have a bad experience and I learn from it, the next time that experience or something similar arise, I will know how to deal with it because I have taken the time to manage it before, right? So we have said again, every problem introduces a person to himself. I love this because when you have a problem and something arises up in your life, or you could be experiencing it right now, check yourself, sit with yourself just a little bit, go somewhere where you just by yourself, get in the room and just sit with yourself and think about, how am I reacting to or responding to this problem? Because I guarantee you, how you respond to a situation is going to negate how your outcome is going to be. If you're going to be afraid, your outcome is going to show it. So it's how your problem arise arises in your life. Like it is, again, how you every problem introduces a person to himself. Basically, it's just that how I show up in a problem is how I'm showing up in all my life. We cannot segment out our lives. People try to make me think we can, but you can't. I remember thinking I was one way at my job, and I was a different way at home, then I was a different way at church. All those were like three different things. But as I sit with myself, I seen the cord between all of them. It was all run by fear. It was all run by trying to be accepted by other people, trying to accept people beyond what I knew about who I knew about myself. I was giving people the paintbrush to paint my life in all segments. It was across the board. So you have to be able to manage these experiences, because we all have experiences. We all have bad experiences. We're going to have we have experiences like in our loss of relationships, disappointments, We make hard decisions. We have all these different changes in our life. But when you begin to manage these experiences, when you have a relationship and it has did its season in your life, you're not going to just it is not going to be the pain as it was with the with the one prior to it, because you have kind of learned things have a season. We have met our time. Doesn't mean that you have to hate anyone, but sometimes relationships stop. You know, there I experienced the death of my sister few months back. The one of the hardest experiences that I had to experience in a long, long time, and I had to sit with that. I had to sit with that. Either I was going to allow that pain to consume me and stop me and get mad at God, which I went through about, but I had to sit with it because I realized I was starting to change in my behavior. I was actually angry. But if I didn't sit with myself and learn from past experience, when what do I do when I get in a whole lot of pain? I shut down. I separate myself from people, and I begin to notice that's what I was doing with myself. So that was my trigger. Okay, I'm feeling some kind of way. Let me sit with myself to deal with it. And so we have to pull these files are just things that we pull up. We know, we remember how we dealt with them and what do we do to manage it, so when it rise again, we already have this file and system. All right, this is what I did last time. This is how I'm able to get through it. And then you learn even more in the next experience. So your file get thicker. You have more ammunition to fight off the bad experiences. So then you have to learn just to live this thing out. Either you're going to become bitter or you're going to become better. And we all know when someone's bitter. I don't care if they're smiling. What's in you, come out of you. Hands down, what's in you, come out of you. However, what's going on in your life is going to come out. If it's fear, it's going to come out. If it's anger, it's going to come out. If it's bitterness, it's going to come out. If it's joy, it's going to come out. If it's peace, it's going to come out. Whatever's in you, going to come out. And it has a way, and you can't stop it because it's a part of who you are. So you have to make those choices. Am I going to be bitter? I'm going to be better. So that means there's action involved. How are you going to actively make sure that you don't become bitter because of this situation? And you begin to kill off your own body, because the stress of that is just, it wreaks havoc on your body and your mental state. So it is our choice how we deal with it. And so how do we can turn this pain into gain? By thinking about it in a positive manner. I remember being in a situation where I had to start over. I was in a bad relationship. I had to leave. I had to start over from scratch. And I could have just been so bitter, like, woe is me. I'm a good person. Why did this happen? I could have did all that. And it's not to say I didn't cry, because I did a lot. But at the same time, I remember kept telling myself, this is a new opportunity. This is a space. I have a blank canvas. I can just, I can show up the way I want to. I can show up in my peaceful stance. I got peace now. I don't have all that drama. I have peace. So I had to look at the positive part of of what was going on. And then you have to embrace the value of the bad experience, because there's lessons in all of them. There is lessons. There is things I learned. Just even so, I was in been in a bad relationship, having being being in a situation where I was being emotionally abused. I was able to now understand, taking that situation and understanding, okay, this is why I was allowing those things to happen in my life. And now this is my plan, because I'm strategic. That's when I am a strategic coach. I can develop a plan. Okay, this is what I need to do to make sure that doesn't happen again. Because I was able to learn and see the real me in that situation. And how do I get better and move forward? So, sorry, excuse me. And but what you have to just make good changes. What do I need to do to change? What is it that I need to? You can't just say I'm gonna sit with this and try to figure it out and then don't do anything. Is you just a mute point? You have to say, okay, this is where in my life I need to improve. Go get a book, go to a seminar, get a coach, get a mentor. There is a multitude of things you can do to have change. You to make life different. And so you have to be willing just to lead it out. But again, you have to sit there and ask yourself some questions, which I find these to be very great questions to sit with yourself and ask yourself, how am I dealing with this pain? Am I avoiding it at all costs, or enduring it just because it's there? Am I just saying, okay, this is not really happening to me, because I've done that too. No, because you know what? It's just me, I'm having a bad day, so I'm not really being abused. You're avoiding it. That's what that is. You're talking yourself out of it. I say it's kind of sending these things to ER. And it's not ER to get help. It's having an excuse, and you're having a reason why it's the way it is. You're reasoning your way through it, but you're not really helping yourself through it. But you just have to embrace it and stay positive. And I'm not saying all this is easy, but again, if you got to be willing to stretch, you have to be willing to move forward and connect with others. I say, if my website is going to be connected below, connect with me. Let's get together, best friend, and let's talk this out. Let's develop a strategy. It's okay. We've all been there. I just thank God that He's given me the gifts, abilities, and talents to have this strategy to get my clients, to see them come into to my sessions, to come into my classes, being one way, and to see them they leave, they're empowered, they have clear direction. It is like this GPS. They've received the direction how to get to where they need to go. Because sometimes we go through life like, ah, I'll get there. You don't get in your car and travel across state without a GPS or a map or something. It's the same thing. You have to be willing to lead yourself through this process. You have to be willing to deal with your emotions. You have to be willing to understand these are the things where I need to improve. This is where I can get better. I am a lifelong learner for sure. I'm always looking, how can I improve? What do I need to get better? What do I need to do just to be completely apologetically me? And so this is a lifelong journey. And so, in this idea of change, you have to be willing to stretch. And that's why I love this law, the law of the rubber band. It says growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you want to be. I wish I had the rubber band here with me right now, but if you stretch a rubber band, the idea, I just, when I stretch it, I get all this space in between. But when it's not stretching, there's no tension going against it. Its space is small. And this is where we capture ourselves and we block ourselves into life. When we're supposed to be owners of businesses, we're supposed to be millionaires, we are supposed to be developing new products, new vaccines, we are supposed to be starting events and putting on different events, or starting of new clubs, or whatever it may be, doing trainings, doing workshops. It is a multitude of things where we should be doing, but instead we're blocking ourselves in. We're blocking ourselves and not willing to put the tension in our life and saying, I'm going to do this afraid. I'm going to do it afraid. I'm going to do it afraid. I'm going to do it afraid. And that's stretching. That's stretching yourself beyond where you're at. That means doing the hard thing. That means, May, you have to get up an hour earlier. Right now, I'm getting up earlier because it's this thing. I got some COVID weight on me. I'm getting up an hour earlier so that I can make sure I get myself into a space where to go exercise. I'm making sure I eat right. Those things, no, yes, I want my ice cream and chocolate chip cookies. I do. I want to dip my cookies. But that's not going to keep that's not going to stretch me. Eating sitting in front of TV with some chocolate chip cookies and milk is going to keep me in here. It's going to explode my body, but it's going to keep me locked in. And so we have to be willing to stretch beyond where we at. That means you're going to may have to pick up a book. If you don't like reading, get the book on Audible. You can listen to it while you're exercising. You know how many sermons and audiobooks I listen to while I'm actually exercising? Because I believe you should always be feeding your mind. If you're not feeding your mind intentionally, somebody else is. So that means somebody else is telling you who you are. I'll be damned if that happened to me ever again. No one else will ever tell me who I am. I go to the word of God and I know who he's told me I am because it's in me, because I'm me. I know who I am. And I stand up in that unapologetically. So I say, but you have to be willing to deal with those uncomfortable things and begin to walk. Don't just be who you are just in your house. You be who you are on your job, at your church, or walking down the street, whoever. That takes courage because somebody was like, well, I don't want because what if they don't accept me? Good. Then you don't need them in your life. I am at that place right now. It's like if I make them uncomfortable, they are definitely not a part of my tribe. They are not my best friends. And it's okay. It is okay. But I'm not going to be something that God has not called me to be because I want someone to like me. Because no, that just don't work that way. And so, but the law of the rubber band, it is, it, it, it gives you an advantage when you stretch because few people do not stretch. So just think if you took this to heart, please do take this to heart and stretch. You're going to outbeat probably 90% of the people right off the bat because you're willing to do something that you haven't done before. You are going to be willing, you won't just settle for this whole status quo. You won't just want to be the same, want to be like everybody else. I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I just want to be me. I just want to be me unapologetically because I have peace now. I have joy. I don't have the idea of like all these scenarios of other folks in my head playing around. No, I evicted all them voices. And so you have to stretch and set you apart from others. It sets you apart. The Bible tells us we're going to be peculiar people because we're going to be being unapologetic who we are because we are enough. We are enough. You choose you. Choose you. I can't say that enough. So this is the end of my little mini workshop. And I just have to say, manage the pain. Get to know who you are. Get to know yourself in the space of this pain. Sit with yourself. Begin to make a plan. What do I need to do to get from here to there? What is those things I need to change and begin to seek out help? Contact me. Let's get together. I'm not doing this because I want to get this. I can make a living. I have a living. I have a passion that I know God has given me to help others. I know that. And so I know I am an excellent leadership trainer and I am an excellent strategic coach because it was given to me by God. And it was given to me by God, not for myself, but for you. It was given to me for you. Let's get you from here and get you to there, get you to where your full potential and get you to that space God has created for you to be, because it's in that space where you're going to be touching thousands of lives. You're going to change your legacy. So let's get started. There's going to be a link below. Go ahead and click it and let's get connected to one another. So, and on that note, I'll see you later and I hope to see you soon, best friend. All right, bye.